Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're going underground. We really need to figure out exactly who owns and maintains the physical wires powering Singapore. You know, every time a massive storm hits and your lights don't even flicker, well, that's not by accident. There's an invisible, constant effort happening right beneath your feet, and today, we're zooming in on the exact crew responsible for all of it, SP Group.
To really get a grip on how the grid works, it helps to think of it like an airport. If the Energy Market Authority, the EMA, is the air traffic controller up in the tower setting the rules and watching the radar, then SP Group, they're the ones who actually built the runway. They are out there day and night physically maintaining the tarmac so your power never drops. The EMA manages the market rules, sure, but SP Group is doing the heavy, physical lifting.
Now, the official legal term for them is the Distribution System Operator, or DSO. And this isn't just some title on paper. As the DSO, SP Group holds the actual physical and legal ownership of every single cable, transformer, and substation delivering your power. Basically, someone has to be held directly accountable for keeping the hardware safe and actually functioning every hour of every day. And in Singapore, that someone is SP Group. They're out there providing that round-the-clock 24/7 maintenance.
But where exactly does their territory start and end? Well, here is your magic number, 22 kilovolts and below. That is the cutoff. SP Group owns, physically operates, and actively maintains the distribution grid starting right at 22 kilovolts, taking it all the way down to the low-voltage sockets right there in your wall. And this is where the system design gets really smart, because it perfectly complements the EMA's authority. Remember, the EMA focuses on the transmission network at 66 kilovolts and above. So think of the EMA as the city council, coordinating the rules for the whole district. SP Group, on the other hand, is like the landlord of the building, taking care of the actual pipes and wires. Anchoring all that distribution ownership and maintenance to one single entity is totally deliberate. It completely avoids the fragmented ownership problems you see in other markets. You know, the kind that lead to maintenance gaps and everyone just pointing fingers during a blackout.
Okay, let's actually look at the hardware. This 22 kV switchgear forms the absolute backbone of SP Group's network. Their physical territory covers this massive, sprawling web of step-down transformers and solid dielectric XLPE cables, connecting those substations straight to your front door. In fact, these modern, solid cables are basically the staple of the infrastructure now. They've completely replaced those older, phased-out bulk oil circuit breakers.
And because we're talking about incredibly dense urban infrastructure here, SP Group's footprint has to go deep. Literally. We are talking about a 40-kilometer cross-island underground cable tunnel system plunging 60 meters below ground. To put that into perspective, that's like a 20-story building completely buried in the earth. It's wild, and it's built to last 120 years. This massive tunnel system lets them repair and upgrade aging cables super efficiently without having to constantly dig up the roads and ruin your morning commute.
All right, let's do a quick check to see how this framework plays out in the real world. Imagine you're an engineer connecting a new commercial facility, or maybe you experience a fault on a feeder line rated at 6.6 kV. Whose maintenance obligation is it? Who are you going to call? If you said SP Group, you hit the nail on the head, because 6.6 kilovolts sits well within that 22 kV and below mandate. It is strictly SP Group's job. They're the ones dispatching their active condition monitoring and repair crews to fix it. So you can see why knowing your voltage classifications isn't just some academic exercise. It literally dictates who holds the legal and operational authority to jump in and fix the problem.
So before this, you knew the EMA's role. Now you know SP Group owns and maintains everything at 22 kV and below, 24/7. But here's the catch. Because this dense underground network is entirely hidden, the risk of careless digging are just astronomical. I mean, an excavator making a single wrong scoop into a live cable doesn't just risk knocking out power for a hospital or a data center. Under the Singapore Electricity Act, it triggers a massive penalty of up to 1 million Singapore dollars. $1 million. Suddenly, double-checking those digital utility maps and grabbing a permit to work before you dig sounds like a pretty fantastic idea, right?
With financial stakes soaring up to $1 million a pop for a mistake, exactly how strict are the laws guarding this underground grid? What specific legal steps do you absolutely have to take before breaking ground so you don't get hit with that fine? Well, that is a seriously fascinating legal framework, and it's exactly what we're going to uncover next.